Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. The Golden State Warriors, who have enjoyed a resurgence in the second half of the year after acquiring Jimmy Butler, still need a big man to provide depth in the front court, something Kristaps Porzingis could help solve. Porzingis could fill an immediate void alongside Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. Blockbuster trade suggestion brings big man to Warriors, who will send Buddy Hield and other players to Boston Celtics. The Golden State Warriors' playoff run ended in the Western Conference semi-final round after a tough injury blow to Stephen Curry. Now, the clock is ticking on the Curry-Draymond Green era in Golden State. The Warriors could swing a blockbuster trade this offseason, especially with the front office feeling some pressure with Curry on the tail end of his career and Steve Kerr only expected to coach a couple more seasons. One big name on the trade market could possibly be Boston Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis. Meanwhile, Grant Hughes of Bleacher Report named the Warriors as a potential trade partner to bring Porzingis to the Bay Area. Golden State Warriors acquire Kristaps Porzingis. Boston Celtics acquire Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Tracy Jackson-Davis and Guy Santos. The Warriors appear committed to pairing Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green in the front court, which creates a major need for spacing. Quinton Post, a rookie second-rounder, worked his way into a regular rotation role late in the season because he could knock down threes. The Warriors were willing to live with his defensive lapses and inexperience in exchange for his shooting ability. Porzingis would provide even more offensive benefits without so many drawbacks. A Warriors offense that also needs size could get a lot of mileage out of Stephen Curry-Porzingis screening action, as KP's switch-busting post-up game would add a dimension the Dubs have never really had. Boston would have to make other moves to accommodate 4 new players, but all 4 of Moody, Hield, Jackson-Davis and Santos are positive values on their current contracts. The Celtics could reroute any of their new additions or just hold on to Moody and Hield as replacements for Holiday and White if they also trade those 2 away. It's an interesting scenario for both sides, and the Celtics adding Buddy Hield to the fold could be a nice boost alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Porzingis is going to enter the final year of a 2-year, $60 million contract extension, so the Celtics could decide to part with him in hopes of adding assets. The Warriors could use a big man, and the future of Jonathan Kuminga looks murky, at best. Plus, a Curry-Butler-Green-Porzingis lineup would be tough for opposing teams to stop, which could make the Warriors' hopes of another NBA title even more realistic. Draymond Green calls Steph Curry the GOAT when reading All-NBA teams. Friday night, NBA on TNT revealed the 3 All-NBA teams on the pregame show for Knicks/Pacers. When reading out the names for the second team, Draymond Green decided to announce his teammate's name with some extra flair. Draymond Green announces All-NBA second team. Green called Steph Curry the GOAT when reading the names of the players who made All-NBA second team. Green and Curry have been teammates almost their entire careers and are both 4-time NBA champions. Curry does have quite the resume and is regarded by some as a top 10 player of all time. Calling him the GOAT might be a little far-fetched, but we know that as a teammate he is going to have some bias. If Curry were able to grab a 5th championship before retiring, then we might have to start having some serious conversations. Former NBA All-Star calls out Warriors HC Steve Kerr. As the Golden State Warriors get ready for a crucial offseason, one of the biggest questions around the team is what the future holds for forward Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga is scheduled to be a restricted free agent this summer, and there has been a lot of speculation around his status with the team. More NBA news: Lakers LeBron James makes shocking NBA MVP voting history. The Warriors want to bring back Kuminga, but his price tag could force the team's hand. There will be plenty of teams interested in his services, and it could see a bidding war take place. But one former NBA All-Star and Warriors player believes that Golden State head coach Steve Kerr could be to blame if Kuminga does depart. DeMarcus Cousins gave his thoughts on the matter. "I think they lost Kuminga. I think Steve Kerr ruined that relationship this year with the DNPs," Cousins said on Run It Back. "We've seen this happen time and time again when it comes to him and dealing with young talent. He just doesn't handle young talent well. he doesn't develop. Out of the years he's been there, we've seen one guy develop under Steve Kerr, and they ran him off as well, that was Jordan Poole. When it comes to young talent, I just don't think that he handles it well. Cousins played under Kerr for a short time, and it seems that he isn't a fan. Kerr has seen impressive success with the Warriors, but a lot of that was more inherited than anything. More NBA news: Lakers' likely trade package for center reportedly revealed Kerr didn't develop players such as Steph Curry, Draymond Green, or Klay Thompson. But he did figure out how to manage each of them together and find the recipe to win as a group, which is never easy to do. Even if Kerr didn't develop the players, he still gets a lot of credit for winning 4 titles in Golden State. Kerr is one of the better coaches in the NBA, and he has proven that for over a decade at this point. Whether Kuminga returns or not likely has nothing to do with Kerr. Rather, it will depend on how much money the Warriors front office is willing to spend on him this offseason. Warriors GM explains why team can't compete anymore with small ball approach. The Warriors' needs for the offseason have been categorized, and Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy shared an explanation for why the team needed to explore adding length rather than focusing on the small ball approach. The Golden State Warriors have enjoyed some of their most successful campaigns using what has been termed the small ball approach. Unfortunately, this hasn't yielded the same result in recent outings. Addressing this matter, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy explained why the team would be taking a different approach in the upcoming season. "I'd love to have an ability to play bigger with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler 3 in the frontcourt," said Dunleavy, while addressing the matter of size in the Warriors roster. "And we can always go to our ace in the hole with Draymond at center, which we did basically from February 8 on." Dunleavy acknowledged the need for these elements after the team's difficult run in the playoffs. After the games against the Houston Rockets and the Minnesota Timberwolves, it had become abundantly clear that the team didn't have the shooting, the agility, or the defensive flexibility to succeed with small ball over an entire postseason. "You can get bigger, more athletic, more skilled in terms of shooting, passing, defending," added the Warriors GM. "We can improve in a lot of areas while at the same time knowing we're short up and good in some areas. We'll look to do those things." "For sure, you can do that." Dunleavy hinted at the Warriors' plans to do so in both free agency and the trade market. Golden State will be one of the more interesting teams to follow in the offseason. The team's plans for roster upgrades have featured the need for acquiring a big man as well as a relevant wing defender and playmaker. Much of the Warriors' assets for facilitating trades are tied to Jonathan Kuminga's upcoming contract extension. While the team would benefit from developing the forward, it has been made clear by head coach Steve Kerr that the 22-year-old may not get the minutes he would hope for in this lineup. In light of this, Golden State is expected to use Kuminga as the primary piece in any trade scenario. By virtue of this, the Warriors have been featured in several trade rumors, including some blockbuster ones featuring Milwaukee Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo. While the Bucks forward would solve many of the team's immediate concerns, even considering his interest in playing alongside Stephen Curry, the Dubs may not be able to afford him. Instead, the Warriors may turn their sights to the free agency market. Several talented players could garner the team's attention, such as the Bucks stretch big man Brook Lopez. Lopez would be a great acquisition for the Warriors if they could manage to afford him. Although he is 37 years old, Lopez offers a veteran presence on the court as well as reliable rim protection. In 80 games played last season, the big man averaged 13.0 points and 5.0 rebounds per game on shooting splits of 50.9% from the field and 37.3% from behind the three-point line. His ability to be a floor spacer could be of great value to the team. Similarly, the Warriors have also been linked to players like Clint Capella and Daniel Gafford. With several options to pick from, it is apparent that Golden State's front office will have its hands full in the offseason. Warriors trade proposal lands $118 million Celtics star for Hall. The Boston Celtics have some tough decisions to make during the offseason, and the Golden State Warriors could benefit from it. Ultimately, the Celtics have to weigh whether they want to break up their current core when Jason Tatum is out for much of the campaign or try to continue what they have. It might not be the best idea, given the team still has an opportunity to win a championship. However, it isn't something the Warriors can worry about. If they make somebody like Derek White available, they need to be interested in him. And according to a recent prediction from Yahoo's Kevin O'Connor, that's exactly what will happen. He predicted the Warriors would be interested in him this summer if he were on the trade market. The Warriors might go for Derek White this offseason, O'Connor said during a new episode of The Kevin O'Connor Show. That's the type of player they want to go for. That's intriguing to me because the Warriors, in all likelihood, will continue with this Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green core. Underscore 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 underscore. How would Derek White impact Warriors? Trading for White would be a great opportunity for the Golden State Warriors to extend their title window. There have been times throughout his career when he looks to be one of the most valuable players on the Boston Celtics roster, if not the most valuable. His ability to defend next to Stephen Curry would be intriguing, and he also shoots the three-point shot at an above-average clip, shooting 38.4% from beyond the arc on 9.1 attempts per game this past season. The question, however, would be whether the Celtics would be willing to move on from him, and if the Warriors would be willing to move on from some of their first-round picks, which they have multiple of. How desperate are they going to get, though? Because why would the Celtics trade Derek White, who's only going to be 31, and still feels like he's getting better every year? The Warriors will have the ability to trade their first-rounders in 26, 28, and 32, plus swaps in 27, 29, and 31. Underscore 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 underscore. Does trading Derek White make sense for Celtics? The Boston Celtics trading White wouldn't make much sense. Not only is he one of the better role players in the NBA, but he's also on a rather friendly contract. Making $118 million over the next 4 years, in the current CBA, that's an excellent deal for a player of his value. The Golden State Warriors would love to take on that contract, but even if the Celtics believe they won't compete next year with Tatum out for much of the campaign, if not all of it, why not keep him around for the next 3 seasons? I've talked about how depressing trading Derek White would be for Boston, and the sort of a dilemma they face in terms of, how much of a reset do we really want to have and who we want to be back here when Tatum comes back? Zach Lowe said. Who is trade value in the interim and where does Derek White fit in that conversation? There's a lot to consider here for both sides, but if the Warriors could grab him, the idea makes perfect sense for them. Stephen Curry makes NBA history on Friday. The Golden State Warriors were eliminated from the 2025 NBA playoffs following a 121-110 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5. The Warriors, however, were dealt a major blow when Stephen Curry suffered a hamstring injury in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal series. While Golden State managed to defeat Minnesota 99-88 on the road after Curry exited the game, that turned out to be their only win of the series. 0-1. Speaking to reporters after the team's elimination on May 15, everything was kind of aligned for Game 6. I had some testing to do, who knows how that would have went, Curry said. Dealing with this injury, I was optimistic, but there were a couple more checkpoints to get through. But it's the great what if. The 4-time NBA champion said he plans to get a lot of rest this summer after helping Team USA win gold at the 2024 Paris Olympics. I will take full advantage of the offseason, though. Been playing a lot of basketball for the last year, and a lot left in the tank to prepare for, so I'm excited about it, he added. On May 23, Curry, who averaged 24.5 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 6.0 assists last season, received some exciting news. The NBA announced Curry as part of their 2024-25 Kia All-NBA second team. At age 37, Curry is now the oldest guard in NBA history to make back-to-back All-NBA teams. The two-time league MVP earned All-NBA third-team honors in 2024. Curry earned first-team All-NBA honors in 2015, 2016, 2019, and 2021. Joining the 11-time NBA All-Star on the All-NBA second team this year, Lakers' LeBron James, Timberwolves' Anthony Edwards, Knicks' Jalen Brunson, and Cavaliers' Evan Mobley. Fellow Warriors star Draymond Green, 35, earned NBA All-Defensive first-team honors.